from Slomsky Memorial Field at Glassboro High School. Comcast Sports presents high school football. Tonight, the undefeated Bulldogs of Glassboro High School hosting the once beaten Red Devils of Pennsgrove High School. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Shryock, along with Shawn Leary. A beautiful night for high school football game, Shawn, with a game with a lot of ramifications, both regular season and playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to be talking about that all night, about what this will do inside the Group 1 playoffs, whether Glassboro should win or lose this game along with Pennsgrove. But this is two teams that are fired up at the end of the season playing their best football. It should be a terrific matchup.
Tunstall's kickoff for Glassboro goes to the end zone. Pennsgrove will start the first possession of the football game in his own 20. First down and 10. Herb Nealio Jr., the head coach at Glassboro High School, in his 6th season as head coach, 15th here at Glassboro High School. What a great job he's done.
Yeah, he's done a nice job, and I remember the first year after Coach Leary had called it quits and Herb Nealio took over, didn't have a team that had a whole lot of talent on it, and a lot of people were talking about that. Now he's 7-0. There you see Kemp Carr, his opposition for tonight, who has done an outstanding job at Pennsgrove, taking over a program that was really non-existent, was struggling to find wins on its schedule, keep the team together. Now the team is 6-1 and plenty of young talent on this team.
John Cobbage out of the shotgun to start the football game, throws a quick out, but it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for Pennsgrove.
Well, they're trying to get the ball immediately into their playmakers' hands. Aaron Hayward will come out of the backfield and be able to beat you in a number of ways. They're just trying to set up the screen. That time it looked like he maybe peeked a little bit before he caught the football, and just didn't keep your eye on it. You're going to drop it.
Shawn, speed the name of this game. Both teams unbelievably quick. Two of the quickest teams you're going to see in South Jersey this season.
Right, and I mean they're able to create a lot of turnovers. They get to the ball extremely fast. It's difficult to be able to turn the corner on either one of these teams. So speed-wise, Pennsgrove matches up with Glassboro probably more than anybody that the Bulldogs have faced so far this year.
Cobbage again out of shotgun, keeps the football and gains just about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Red Devils.
Yeah, a bunch of Glassboro Bulldogs in the backfield. Paris Smith, one of them, one of those down linemen. Another big name, Bob Donald Davis, the third, the senior, getting a lot of looks. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. Maybe not the biggest name you're going to hear in Gloucester County, but a lot of big colleges are looking at this kid with great size and quickness off the ball.
3rd down and 8, just underway at Glassboro High School. Gorgeous night for a high school football game. A little bit cool. Not much wind. We thought wind might be a factor tonight, but right now not too windy.
Well, it looks like was it Hurricane Noel or one of them come up the coast, but it doesn't feel like she's on us right now.
Cobbage straight back to throw, goes deep, and overshoots his intended receiver. So a quick 3 and out for Pennsgrove. The Glassboro defense, Shawn, which has given up only 5 touchdowns all season long, does the job again.
Right. Tonight you're going to have to be patient. Both teams have to be patient on offense because, again, that speed is really going to negate a lot of big plays, Bob, and you're going to have to methodically work the ball downfield. Hopefully you get a couple of creases and there's some explosive offensive weapons for both teams. Hayward, one of the top scoring threats in all of South Jersey, and Glassboro has a number of different players that can hurt you as well.
Tunstall and Breaker deep for Glassboro. Good punt. It'll bounce at about the 48. Takes the Pennsgrove bounce. This will be a good punt. Will give Glassboro its first possession at its own 36-yard line. I will see this vaunted Glassboro offense, Shawn, which has outscored opponents 313 to 34 this season.
Not bad.
That's not bad, is it? The closest game was Pennsville. They beat them 34 to 13.
Sounds like a Paulsboro wrestling coach's wrestling record or something. Even Glenn Howard.
Justin Breaker runs this high-powered offense for Glassboro High School. A quick handoff. And not a whole lot doing inside. Pennsgrove defensively having a good season as well.
Handoff to B.J. Card, picks up about 1.
Justin Breaker,
who's a senior. It was senior night here at Glassboro. He came out with his mom tonight.
Timothy Breaker, his younger brother, who is a junior on the team. Excited about this game where they get a chance to face Pennsgrove, a Pennsgrove team that knocked off Shryock at the end of last year. So it's interesting to see how that'll play in the minds of the Breaker brothers, where they've been beaten by this team.
Breaker rolls right. Fires completed and knocked out of bounds is Danian Green after the catch.
Pass to number 12, Danian Green.
That's a nice target at 6'2". Danian presents a matchup problem with Pensgrove in that secondary. He's a big target who can find some open space, and what he does extremely well is catch the ball with the hands. It'll be very interesting to see also, Bob, how the receivers have improved from the beginning of the year. We had a chance to go out and take a peek at them and see what they were doing during the offseason, and then you had Sakeen Wright, the heralded quarterback who was here at Glassboro during the early 2000s.
Breaking the side, heading down to the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. That quickly, Glassboro strikes on a touchdown run of 45 yards by Ralph Carr, and with 9:55 to play in the first quarter, 6-0. However, a flag on the play might bring this one back. That was
you can see Carr's explosion. Yeah, this is going to, I think, come back. There's a couple of linemen still waiting up at the original line of scrimmage.
So the 45-yard touchdown run by Ralph Carr apparently will be nullified by the penalty.
That gives Kent Carr a chance to go and holler at his defense.
Still first down.
It's amazing the rushing averages for these Glassboro players, Shawn. Carr averaging 8 yards per carry, and he's only 5th best on the team with the yards per carry average. Gaines 20 yards per carry, Corey James 10, Baxter with 9, Davis with 8. Unbelievable.
This ground game has been outstanding for Glassboro throughout the entire season.
Carr again slips one tackle, but he's going to be knocked down at about the 42 after a gain of 3 yards.
But Bob, we can't say this enough. This is this is the best defense that Glassboro has faced thus far. There you see 208 points to 50. Pensgrove not too shabby as well.
Pretty impressive.
Has a very good defense, and there you see Glassboro has just been ridiculous, putting up the numbers at 313.
Well, they're so balanced, Shawn. They're so deep in the running back department. Against Pittman, 10 different guys scored touchdowns.
Before Ralph Carr's touchdown was nullified, I was talking about Sakeen Wright, who's helped out the receiver. So you talk about a mix there with Sakeen Wright working with the receivers. What better guy to come out and help this team?
Breaker goes deep, has a man open, just overshoots him. The intended receiver was Tim Breaker, and the pass from Justin Breaker just over his outstretched fingertips.
Yeah, Tim's 6'1", 180 pounds. The guy who can fly down the sidelines, he can get open, and has helped this Glassboro football team.
So a 3rd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. 9:07 to play first period. We've had one score, but that was wiped out by penalties. So Glassboro still with possession in Pensgrove territory. 3rd down and 7. Back split behind Breaker. Breaker rolling left.
He's got a lot of room if he gets by this one.
Slips one tackle, and he'll have the 1st down and more. Knocked down at about the 25, 26-yard line. Good job by Breaker as he keeps the drive alive with a 17-yard pickup.
Yeah, this guy, we saw him last year against a Glassboro team that was pretty good, but he just was so dominant in that game. We saw him really grow and become an outstanding quarterback, not only with his arm, but with his legs as well. And he presents a lot of matchup problems for defenses because he runs extremely well, but he has a cannon for an arm.
Carr with a carry. Carr showing those tricky little steps, gets nice yardage down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line.
The little stiff arm for the opposing quarterback, John Coppage, at the end of that play by Ralph Carr. That was a great job by cutting it left. He sees the field extremely well. Ralph Carr, probably one of the more unsung heroes of this team. Not only what he does on the field, but he's such a great leader. We saw him last year, Bob, his elbow or his arm broken in a game right here on this field, and it was very disappointing to see that because he's such an emotional part of this team.
1st down and 10, ball at the 14-yard line. 3 first downs on this drive by Glassboro. One back set behind Breaker. And the handle straight up the middle. Breaks one tackle and knocked down inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line.
Number 20, Corey James.
That's Corey James, the senior, Bob. Fullback, 5'10", 170 pounds.
2nd and 5 from the 10.
Corey celebrating the birth of his son recently, Bob. Got a little boy.
Very nice.
Wish him and his little son the best.
2nd down and 5. Ball right on the 10-yard line. In the I formation behind breaker with a 2nd and 5. And some running room down close to the goal line for James again.
This offensive line is really doing a terrific job to start this game.
James with a hard run, pick up about.
And that's what you expect from this Glassboro team that has just abused defenses with the ground game.
9-yard gain to the 1. It'll be a 1st down and goal. So 4 shots for the Bulldogs from the 1-yard line if they need them.
You expect him here probably to try and get behind Big Donald Davis, number 77, around the goal line.
There's the handoff right
and he lost the ball.
The ball is loose. Pensgrove thinks it has the ball. How about that? Pensgrove recovers a fumble at the 1-yard line. So Glassboro loses a touchdown on the penalty, and then after regaining momentum on the drive, loses the ball via fumble at the 1.
I don't think Justin Breaker ever came back with the football.
1st and 10.
I think the quarterback, and it looked like possibly he was going to roll out on this play. I don't think that was designed to go up the middle. It didn't appear to be, but Glassboro fumbling the ball and Pensgrove dodging a huge bullet, not only once with Carr's touchdown being returned, but now twice here on a fumble, but they're going to have to take advantage of that, hold on to the football, and get away from their own end zone.
7:03 to go first period, an odd first period, and still no score. And now at the 1-yard line, Cobbage will go right behind center instead of the shotgun. No, it's a direct snap.
Direct snap to Hayward.
Hayward gets just a couple. I think gets about a yard is all. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Hayward was a name, Bob, that we knew at the Gloucester County Times and today's Sunbeam before he even stepped onto the football field. He was a track star as a younger kid, and he came into the program dominating the midget football programs, and he has not disappointed too many at Pensgrove. A junior who has really developed and matured as a player, not only becoming a leader on the field, but also off. This is a kid that's really worked hard to try and become that prototypical big back that you would see in South Jersey, and he's really become that here in his junior.
Cobbage from his end zone just misses the connection. It'll be 3rd down and 9. The intended receiver on the play was Shawn Green.
Shawn Green is changed his number before the game. From 54 to 44.
Number 2, Laverne Harris. 77.
He's a guy who's a junior.
Dangerous territory here, son. 3rd down and 9.
96, Paris Smith. Number 12, Nathan Green.
I think Coppage just has to settle down a little bit and let the game come to him. Not get too. Looks like he's a little jumpy back there.
30, Stephen Davis, and 33, B.J. Clark.
39, so the Glassboro defense, which has been so terrific all season long, like a stop right here. Again, Cobbage out of shotgun from his own end zone. Fires an incomplete. They're going to have to punt from right at the corner of the end zone. So Pensgrove has been on its heels the entire first period, Shawn. There's still no score.
Coming out throwing the ball. And that might have surprised Glassboro a little bit, but they haven't been able to connect. That looks like Coppage a little nervous, throwing the ball high. He's got to work on that release, and maybe he will as the game matures. He will kind of calm down a little bit. We're only 6:08 here in the first quarter, so plenty of time for Coppage to settle down and get into the offense. They're going to try and get the ball into Hayward's hands as much as possible.
So Tunstall back at the 35-yard line to receive this one. Glassboro should wind up with great field position again.
Almost got it. They came after.
This one takes a Glassboro bounce and will be downed right about the 30-yard line. And again, Glassboro with superb field position.
Yeah, this is dangerous for Pensgrove, Bob. When you give Glassboro, a team that's put up 313 points, this type of field position, there's so many bullets that you're going to be able to dodge. Again, that first drive, Pensgrove escaping without allowing Glassboro the touchdown. They're going to need to do a better job here, and it's going to start up front. The defensive line has to do a better job of hitting the gaps and not allowing Glassboro to find those creases. Those backs, all they need is a little space.
Spot at the 28. Pitch to Carr.
It looked like that was Shryock Green on the tackle.
Carr with a tough pickup of about 5.
Carr gets about 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. The spot at the 25-yard line with 5:37 on the clock running in the first period. Pretty good crowd on hand on senior night at Glassboro High School. All the seniors introduced before the game. The cheerleaders, soccer team, and others will be introduced at halftime with their parents. And the carry this time by Stephen Davis.
Yeah, Stephen Davis does a good job that time of just springing off of his lineman. But just throw a left hand into the back and kind of spring to the outside. It's almost helps you. He's giving you a little push. And the Glassboro running backs do that extremely well. There you see the classic division with Glassboro with a hold on there with a 7-0 record. Penns Grove 5-1 with the only loss to Gloucester, in which it'll look back and it really hurts them because Gloucester.
Third down and 2. Stand up straight up the middle, and
looks like he probably
fumbled and then picked up, and still on his feet running to the corner. His breaker dives for the end zone and does not quite get in. Gets out at about the 2, but that was a strange play.
Yeah, we lost sight of the ball, so I'm not even sure. But Justin Breaker, the quarterback, was able to pick the ball up and scramble to the 2-yard line, so a big play.
You don't think that was a design play, do you, Shawn?
I don't know. He kind of got lost in the middle. I'm assuming that there was a fumble.
Talking to Coach Herd Neely about it. Regardless, they get all the way down to the 2-yard line with a first down and goal. Remember, they were first and goal from the 1 last time they were down here and fumbled the ball away on the first play. Glassboro with a chance again to be the first team to get on the scoreboard. Breaker over center. Rolling right. He'll try to take it in himself. And he's in for the touchdown. Justin Breaker, senior quarterback, finally scores for Glassboro after it was twice frustrated. 4:18 to play in the first period at 6-0 Glassboro.
Well, Kemp Carr and company can't be too happy because it's starting to look a little easy for Glassboro, and it's early on in this game, but still moving the ball downfield like I talked about. It was a methodical drive where you had 2 of them put together, where you're able to pick up 4 or 5 yards at a pop, and a couple runs that were broken for more than 20 yards, including one that was called back for a touchdown. Not the way Penns Grove wanted to start the game.
Roderick Tunstall out of placement. Good. 7-0 Glassboro.
4:19 remaining in the first quarter. Bulldogs 7.
Getting back to that loss real quick, Bob. That was a loss for Penns Grove that really stung because they had that game pretty much wrapped up. Gloucester was able to come back, and today they were honoring Mark Ryan, the young man who was killed over in Iraq. And it was just an emotional game for Gloucester. They were to come back, and what a story that was for the Lions, but what a heartbreaking loss it was for Penns Grove. And they had that game pretty much put in the bag as a win. They would have came into this game undefeated and putting themselves in a better position with the power points. However, that loss could come back to haunt them, and especially if they lose here, it's going to depend on what happens, but they can possibly slip a little bit in those polls. You want to be in the top 4 in the playoffs to get a home game.
Hayward and Holden deep for Penns Grove to receive the kickoff from Tunstall, who's the all-purpose kicker.
There you see those power points. Penns Grove at 5 right now. Audubon and Woodbury will play each other. Glassboro, obviously, and Paulsboro. And we had our stats guy, Scott Chapelier, taking a real close look at this, and it looks like if Glassboro and Paulsboro both win and things break the way they should, Glassboro may be able to take it by a point and have that #1 seed, in which the Group 1 final would have to go through Glassboro if everything breaks out the way it should.
Cerency with a kickoff return for Penns Grove. I don't know whether that was an intentional onside kicker. They were kicking away from Hayward or what, but it was a very short kickoff.
Well, I think Glassboro just likes its chances, Bob, and you make up a good point. Is why kick it to Hayward and give him a chance? You like the way the defense is playing. Don't give him the open field where he can try and capitalize on that.
Best field position so far for Penns Grove. They are at their own 33-yard line. First down and 10, late stages, first period. And again, out of shotgun, John Coppage. Hayward with the handoff on the reverse and does not get much at all, maybe a yard.
Yeah, Penns Grove is going to have to find a way to get others involved in the game. Glassboro is going to key on number 9, and John Coppage at 6'4", 190 pounds, is a guy that might be able to do that for you. That's why they come out trying to throw the ball, get somebody else involved in the game, get your team involved in the game. There you see Kent Carr there trying to devise a plan here to try and pick up some yardage. They haven't been able to do so far against the Maroon and Gold.
Second down and 9, ball at the 35-yard line. A little bit of running room for Ransom. Cuts back inside, gets about 4 to the 39. It'll be short of the first down by about 4 yards. Third down and 4.
Bob, that's when you know things aren't going your way so far. When you do have a nice run and somebody who tackles you is somebody who's wearing the same color jersey you are. Looked like possibly that Serency was trying to get out of the way, but ran into Ransom and knocked him down. So it'll bring up about a third and about 4.5, 5 yards.
Penns Grove has not had a first down. They'd like to get one here and sustain this drive. So for the first time, Coppage under center, and Hayward with the carry, and he is pursued and knocked down well short of the first down. In fact, loses a little, and Penns Grove will be forced to punt again. Glassboro defense has been so good. Back-to-back shutouts in the last 2 games.
Yeah, this team has got as much talent, or has as much talent, excuse me, than any team that we've seen over the last decade.
I think it has as much depth as I've seen from a Group 1 team in a long time, John.
And you could even take a look at the sidelines. There you see Glassboro, a number of kids. You look on the opposite side of the lines, and Penns Grove just has a few reserves over on that opposite side.
Breaker and Tunstall deep for Glassboro.
Breaker and Tunstall back in the receive. Ridgeway's punt.
Ridgeway with the punt. Lots of time. Short punt. Punts it away from the receiver. And Glassboro will start deeper in its own territory this time. 1:40 to play first period, 7-0 Glassboro, and they've had one call back as well.
Yeah, I think you bring up an excellent point with the depth. And that's what I'm talking about, is this Glassboro team, the depth that it has at some of the, especially the skill positions. It's extremely strong. I mean, look at this guy. They start off against Clayton, and of course, overmatched there. Salem. Now, you're not going to see too many Salem-Glassboro rivalries where you look back and see a 52-6 score. I know Salem's a little bit down. Handled a pretty good Pennsville team, and you see the defense only allowing the 1 touchdown in the last 4 games.
Quick out. It's completed the breaker to breaker, but the ball is loose.
This is where Penns Grove has to take advantage of Glassboro mistakes, if any. These teams fly to the football, but Glassboro is going to retain.
That was fortunate. Tim Breaker dropped the ball, but recovered despite the fact there were 4 or 5 Red Devils around him, and he still gained 5 on the play. Second down and 5.
Here you see the Penns Grove schedule starting off in a tough game against Woodstown. They had that Gloucester loss, and since then, they've really started to pour it on. A game that, I didn't expect to see there, a 12-9 win against Overbrook. The team didn't play too well, maybe looking ahead to this game. But Penns Grove's not a team that's going to pile on the points. They're a team that's going to beat you with defense and grind it out.
Breaker chased out of the pocket, still on his feet. And down the sideline, knocked out of bounds hard, but he may have
picks up the first down.
Keeps inbounds and gets the first down at about the 40-yard line.
You can see his speed, Bob, just breaking away out of the pocket. Everything gets shut down, but he's able to use his feet to get to the outside and pick up the first down. Although Penns Grove gets the big hit on the sidelines, they're moving the chains for Glassboro.
Ball at the 40, first down and 10. 45 seconds to play in the first. And Glassboro has dominated this first period. Straight ahead to James. Lots of room into the secondary. Cuts to the outside. At the 40. At the 30. At the 20. At the 10. Finally dropped. But what a run by Corey James out of fullback. And Glassboro back knocking at Pensgrove's door again. That's great speed showing up again, Shawn.
Great speed and outstanding blocking up front. This is all getting done at the line of scrimmage, and Glassboro is just going man on man and blowing Pensgrove off the football. Right now, Pensgrove just backing up. The confidence has to be shattered the way Glassboro has dominated up front.
So it'll be first down and goal. We've said that a few times in this quarter. From the 7-yard line after the great run by James. And timeout on the field. Herb Neely going into the Glassboro huddle. 31 seconds to go. And a first quarter that Glassboro has owned.
Pensgrove's going to call a timeout, I guess, just to settle the troops down. But you're right. I mean, the Glassboro has been absolutely dominant so far at the line of scrimmage. And you looked at Pensgrove line. Now, I thought they were kind of thin in some of the positions. And Glassboro is not anything to sneeze at. I mean, they have some big guys up front with there in the way, but it seems like it's been the right side of the line, maybe throwing Pensgrove where they're thinking they're going to run toward Donald Davis's side. And those little cutbacks by James and Carr, where they're able to get to the middle of the field and cut to the outside, has really stung the Pensgrove defense.
Shawn, a win by Glassboro tonight pretty much secures the top seed in Group 1, does it not?
Well, now there's some other things that are going to happen. Paulsboro has some chances to get some what they call residual points. It's a science. You have to be a freak like Scotty the Chaps Chapelier really to know what's going on. Where you crunch a ton of numbers, and Scott does an excellent job for us at the Gloucester County Times. We'll have all of that. The unofficial pairings come Sunday.
Breaker rolling left. Fires. And it's complete for a touchdown. Breaker to number 21, Roderick Tunstall for the touchdown. 7-yard touchdown pass with 23 seconds to go in the period. 13-0. Glassboro.
They had a little rollout design for Rogers to sit down right there in the corner of the end zone and pull it in. Almost textbook the way you would draw it up. This team, again, loaded with so many different weapons. The wide receivers have improved immensely from the beginning of the season under the tutelage of Sakine. Right there you see it with the touchdown.
And a kick good by Tunstall. Tunstall, by the way, Shawn, that was his 19th reception of the year. He's only averaging 24 yards per catch and his 6th touchdown. He's a leading receiver on this talented Glassboro team.
As he's using his hands, but then he boots across the extra point as well to give Glassboro the 2-touchdown, 14-0 lead. And this is one strong unit, Bob. And it's setting up what you would think, and I would think, would be a possible final with Paulsboro, one that seems to be repetitive each year. Of course, you have your teams like Woodbury, who has a ton of talent, that would love to have something to say before that's all over. And Pensgrove as well. Audubon, who has surprised some teams. There you see Glassboro, and they're able to jump out up front and slowly ease off the gas pedal as the game gets into it. 93, 59, and 55. Most of the backups, I'm sure, Bob, some of those second and third teamers are getting in that fourth quarter and scoring most of those points.
By the way, Shawn, I wanted to mention before I forget it, Super Sat Chug Mangione here at Glassboro High School. He does the best job of high school football stats of anybody I've ever worked with, and he's been doing this 37 years.
Him and Rob Briles down at Kingsway does an outstanding job. Chuck, one of the real good guys. You love coming to see him on the sidelines. A guy's going to greet you with a smile. He has a ton of stats to hand you. He does a great job for us. And again, I want to also equal your sentiments and
penalty assessed to Pensgrove after on the extra point play, 15-yard penalty.
Something they needed, right?
Kicking from the 45-yard line of Pensgrove. And this will be kicked right through the end zone by Tunstall. Got a strong foot, so Pensgrove starts on its own 20 with 23 seconds to play in the first. 14-0 Glassboro. They look kind of easy, aren't they?
Yes, very, very easy. This is a good football team. A good football team. And, again, we talked about Paulsboro, Glassboro, but the job that Rizzo has done at quarterback for Audubon, we just read a story on him. A guy that is, in every sense of the word, a leader for the Green Wave, who has some talents. This Group 1 playoff format in the tournament is going to be outstanding to see whoever gets where, and then what the matchups are. It's going to be fun to look at, as we've had a good time all year seeing these games.
Gets it up. Hayward gets to the corner. Finally knocked out of bounds, but that might be the first down for Penns Grove.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball into Sorensi's hands, and that's what they need to do. Try and mix it up. Try and get others involved. Sorensi's a guy with his nose who loves to smell that football defensively, as a fumble return for a touchdown and interception return for a touchdown. Plays a lot of different positions and can set up and line up in a lot of different ways for Penns Grove. That time he's able to swing it out there and at least get some momentum for Penns Grove. Remember, this is a team that's put up some numbers as well, so they can score behind the leadership of Coppage. Again, it's a big 6'4" quarterback in a shotgun formation right now.
Ball at the 30, first down and 10. First down for the Red Devils. Same play. Completed for a shorter gain, maybe 4. That could be the final play of the first quarter.
If it works, go back to it.
And that'll do it. After one quarter from Glassboro High School, it's 14-0 Bulldogs. Second quarter football from Glassboro. Coppage is sat in the pocket. Great defensive play by Glassboro's Paris Smith, 250-pound junior tackle, and he leads the tacklers in for the sack. Long loss for the Red Devils. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
It'll be 3rd and 15.
It looked like Coppage was looking to his right, unable to find anybody, and once things break down, he's looking at that pass rush. Too many Bulldogs on top of the 6'4" quarterback for him to even be able to think about trying to get to the outside. A terrific pass rush that time at Glassboro. That's going to bring up a long 3rd down.
Coppage straight back to throw, fires it. Oh, off the fingertips of Sorensi. Could have been intercepted. It'll be 4th down and another Penns Grove punt.
Pass number 4, Sorensi, broken up by number 3, Timmy Pretty. Wait. Breaker.
They just fly to the football.
4th down for the Red Devils.
They get the pass rush, and then you have those guys in the secondary waiting to either pick off a pass or break the play up. It's just, again, too much firepower for this Glassboro team. There's some confusion on both sides, it looks like. They're going to punt. You see Ridgway. Sam Ridgway, a 4-year starter for Penns Grove.
Bad punt by Ridgway. This one will give Glassboro a good field position again. Inside the 40-yard line at about the 37. And Glassboro already leading 14-0 in great position again.
It was about a 12 to 14-yard punt. Things are not looking good for Penns Grove, Bob, and they're going to need to be able to stop Glassboro defensively. You got to try and get the 3 and out, try to establish some order to this game where Glassboro has owned in every phase.
James and Carr, the backs behind Breaker. The draw play to Carr, but this time he is stopped for a little bit of a loss.
It's the first
play. The tacklers led by Ken Jefferson of Penns Grove.
It's the first loss of the play. That's what you needed. A play early on 1st down, back them up a little bit, give your team a chance to get off the field.
Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11 for the Bulldogs.
Jefferson, the junior, a big kid, 6'2", 290 pounds. Guy that has been able to get it done for this team. Really has impressed Coach Kent Carr this season, both defensively but also offensively as a tackle.
Breaker rolling left. Goes deep, has a man open. Touchdown. That Tunstall again?
That's Timmy Whitaker. Whitaker, the recipient of the Adam Telefero Foundation Scholarship. And Whitaker going deep. Breaker buying time with a roll-up, a la Sakine right back in his day. And throwing it up and find Whitaker in stride. Whitaker.
Wide open.
Right, wide open. A senior, 5'7", 148, Bob, and flew by the Pensgrove secondary. You take one step forward if you're Pensgrove, and you go back two.
Whitaker Tunstall has this one blocked, but it's 20-0 Glassboro with 10:07 to play in the second period. That was the 14th touchdown pass by Breaker this season, Shawn. Only 3 interceptions.
He's done a terrific job, and with all the weapons that Glassboro has, coming back here after he transferred to Shryock, then back to Glassboro. He had to be pretty happy with all the weapons that he found here in this locker room. There is just too many guys with terrific speed that can hurt you in so many different ways. And this is a good group, man. We have heard so many things about the Breakers, but Carr and Corey James, Stephen Davis, really the heart and soul of this team. The guys that have been here for the last 3 to 4 years who have just been able to get the job done year in and year out, putting together a great product on the field. And now you get a couple of additions that really help out this team. And this is just a really complete unit, not only defensively and offensively, but also special teams. Tunstall's done a nice job with his foot.
Indication of their dominance in this game, Shawn. They lead 20-0, 10 minutes to play in the half, and they've had one called back already. That's against a team that has only lost one time all season.
And given up in the mid-50s in points.
Not a good kick by Tunstall this time. Ball loose, they could have come. Glassboro could have recovered that, but it goes out of bounds and will give Pensgrove decent field position.
The wind has picked up just a little bit. Kind of expected that. The wind's down at the shore, Bob. It's going to read about 35 to 40 miles an hour with some gust at 55, and that's going to creep up here into South Jersey and throughout the night. It's going to get a little windier.
And the Bulldogs will re-kick.
So this will be re-kicked by Glassboro from its own 35-yard line.
I think this is a good decision by Kent Carr. You're going to try to get the ball into your playmakers' hands. Even if they try and kick short, you're going to get decent field position. You get these guys. I mean, these aren't bad football players who are returning the ball for Pensgrove. If you're able to get them some open space, they can get a quick 6 in a hurry.
Hayward deep for Pensgrove. Tunstall with the kickoff chores. Big kick this time, driving Hayward back to the 12-yard line. Hayward may break it. One man stops him. He is stopped in the open field by number 25, Khalil Adams.
Number 25, sophomore Khalil
Adams may have saved the touchdown there, Shawn.
Yeah, I love these. These are the guys I love for Glassboro. You always see these guys. He's 5'4", 130 pounds. Comes out and makes an impact on special teams. And we've seen these guys with McBride over the years, and Ralph Carr a couple of years ago when he was a little bit smaller than he is now. Just put it that way. And these little guys that come out for the football team, they find ways to make an impact. McBride was only about 5'4", 5'5", playing cornerback for this Glassboro team 5 or 6 years ago.
Stoppage with the handoff to Hayward goes. They blow it dead.
Flags on the play. Dead ball. Snap infraction. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ron Howard, the referee on tonight's crew. 5-yard step off against Pensgrove. It'll be first down and 15.
And we talked about depth, Bob. In years past, we had guys like Julian Worley and Kevin Evans for this Glassboro team with probably bigger names than what Ralph Barr has become here, or Baxter. But there's so many different options for Glassboro that those guys don't have to become the stars and don't have to possess the football as many times as maybe Worley and Evans did during their time.
Coppage again out of shotgun with Hayward in motion. They quick out to Hayward, trying to get him free in the open field, but he'll gain only about a yard as its play is read beautifully by the corner for Glassboro.
Swing pass to Hayward.
Again, losing yardage, getting yourself backed up.
Second and 13.
Second down and 13, the spot at the 38-yard line. 9 minutes, 30 seconds to play. First half, all Glassboro, 20-0. Goes absolutely nowhere with Ransom. Ransom loses yardage on the play.
There were 7 defenders all over Ransom after he got that football. There was just 4 people in the secondary coming back up on the play. But Glassboro swarming to that football, which means that the middle of the field could be open if they try to set up some type of screen or try to hit it over the middle of the field. If Glassboro is going to pursue like that, you have to get them off of you. And sometimes those plays work for you. It's just going to be a matter of the offensive line holding up those pass rushers because they've been all over them.
Third down and 17 for the Red Devils.
Hayward splits out.
Coppage drops to throw. He is hammered. Intercepted. Intercepted by Tunstall, who's doing everything for Glassboro tonight. Tunstall stops that drive at about the 42-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for Glassboro.
That ball got held up. The wind shouldn't have been a factor. It would have been at his back. Sorensi looked like he had beaten his man a little bit.
But also Coppage was hit on the play. I think that affected the flight of the ball too, Shawn. First down and 10, Glassboro. 8:13 to play in the first period. Or second period, all Bulldogs. A lot of running room for Carr into the secondary and past midfield for another big gain for the Bulldogs. First down.
Stephen Davis, first down, Bulldogs.
Davis and the carry to the 44-yard line, first and 10.
The Glassboro has found a mismatch on the right side of the Pensgrove defensive line, or excuse me, the left side of that defensive line, the right side of the Glassboro line. That is where they've done a predominant number of the runs. And I can't just say it enough. I mean, running behind these guys, plenty of room here.
Unbelievable. Another big run for Davis. Davis with back-to-back first down carries. This one to the 31-yard line. First down and 10. And, boy, they're making it look easy. Can't be this easy, can it?
No, it should. I think that most of us are pretty much in shock at the way Glassboro has been able to run with ease against this Pensgrove team.
This one will be blown dead before it starts.
Flags on the play.
They're getting behind Teddy Linen right now.
Well, start Glassboro. They've made too many mistakes to make one there. It'll be first down and 15.
Teddy Linen and Wilson, Cody Wilson on that right side of the line, the guard and the tackle, has really owned the left side of that Pensgrove line, and that's a mismatch that Glassboro has been able to take advantage, but really the whole entire offensive line is getting too much of a push right now.
Off to 36, first down and 15. The fullback with the carry, that's James. He's had a good ball game. And his advance to the 25, it'll be second down and about 3 for a first down. Another double-digit carry for the Bulldogs.
Even Damian Green getting in on that play, the tight end blocking again at right side is really getting an outstanding push.
Davis and James, the backs behind Breaker on second down and 4. And the pitch, good cut back inside, cut away for a nice gain by Davis. Boy, they're so quick, aren't they, Shawn?
Yeah, I think Sorensi might have came up on the play and had an angle, but just the great vision to cut back into the field. The good decisions by these Glassboro Bulldogs. They just seem to make all the right decisions. At least in this game, they've been pretty much perfect.
A timeout, the ball at the 15-yard line with a first down and 10 for Glassboro with 6:12 to play in the first half, and I don't think anybody expected it to be this dominant
at
this point in the football game.
This is a version of the perfect game right now. I mean, Glassboro is throwing the perfect game at Pennsgrove, and they have no answer.
Herb Neely has done a nice job with the program there, Shawn.
Yes, he has.
15 years here, the last 6 as head coach. He's had some great teams and been assistant on some great teams that Bob Cleary coached. So great, of course, great tradition here. The field is Marv Slomsky Field. Marv, former great head coach at Glassboro High School, who is deceased. And a lot of great coaches at Glassboro High.
We can't go wrong. You had Herb Neely Sr. as your father, who was Mr. Westville football.
Over 50 years as a midget coach in Westville, that's right.
Big timer in the midget football ranks.
Breaking into the secondary and into the end zone easily for the touchdown is Stephen Davis. Davis with 4 big carries on that drive, and it's 26-0 Glassboro. 6:05 to play in the half, and the route is on, Shawn.
Wow. I mean, I just really in awe of this team. This is one good Glassboro football team. And I think there'll be some people on the other end of the county with Woodbury and Paulsboro watching this game who has to be impressed with what we've seen tonight from Glassboro. Then the question will arise, Bob, is the Classic Division much weaker than the Colonial Conference? And we'll find that out come tournament time.
That Audubon team you talked about plays Woodbury, I believe, this weekend, right, Shawn?
You have some teams over in that Colonial Conference that has typically had some problems in Haddon Township and Audubon, who this year really have put together fine seasons. Audubon, again, under Rizzo, and there's not a better character kid that's going to leave a football team than that young man. Woodbury, who I think has one of its finer football teams under Coach Zach Valentine, ran into a pretty tough Paulsboro team last week, where they were not able to pick up the win there. But I mean, Haddonfield's good over there. Haddon Heights struggling a little bit. Of course, we know all about the other side with West Deptford. So this is good Colonial Conference teams. They're just not in Group 1.
Glassboro going for 2 this time, since Tunstall missed the extra point on the previous touchdown. They'll try for 2. Breaker rolling left. He'll try to run it in himself, and I don't think he'll get there. Good job by Pennsgrove defensively, and the extra point run fails. It's 26-0 Glassboro. 6:05 to play in the first half.
Well, if it was a baseball game and they were throwing the perfect game, maybe it's just a no-hitter now with the 2 negated extra point attempts. Glassboro with a 26-0 lead, but in a game where you saw 2 teams coming in at 7-0 and 6-1, Bob, to say it'd be 26-0 with 6:05 left in the second quarter. Now, very difficult to
I'm not sure I would believe that, but I haven't seen a lot of games this year, John. But I can't think of any recent seasons that I've seen Group 1 football where I saw a team with this much depth. This team is unbelievable depth.
Right, you talked about those guys with the running backs, and Ralph Carr, who's probably the most prolific and biggest name that we've heard over the years, with 8.0 yards per carry every attempt. But then you have Baxter at 9.8. Gaines comes in at 20.3. Stephen Davis 8.4. Corey James with an even 10 yards per carry. Between them, they have 21 touchdowns. 5 by Carr and Davis. This is going into the game. Baxter with 4 and Corey James with 4. Gaines with 3. This is a team with tremendous depth, not only at that running back spot, but also at the wide receiver position as well.
Tunstall short kickoff. Go out of bounds, and let's see if Pensgrove elects to have the Bulldogs re-kick again.
Once again, a flag on the kickoff. All sails down.
Tunstall has been the go-to guy this season with the 23.8 average with the 5 touchdowns, but Timmy Breaker and Timmy Whitaker, just if the running game wasn't if the running game wasn't so strong, those numbers would have increased. Now, I talked with Sakeen right before the game, and he was really impressed with how some of his students of the game, the wide receivers, have improved throughout the year. He thinks that those 3 kids have made the most, with tongue-in-cheek, obviously, because he wants to say the entire team has improved, but he really thinks his wide receivers have really grown. Not only do you have a guy like that with Sakeen Wright, Bob, at the wide receiver spot where you're able to coach, but remember him as a quarterback and what he's able to also teach Justin Breaker as well.
Kick about the same spot, and this is the ball is alive and fumble out of bounds, and Pensgrove will keep possession. 6:02 to play in the half, and the Red Devils need a touchdown to get back in this game mentally, if nothing else, Shawn.
It's just something. They need to break up the no-hitter. It's something to give some type of positive momentum going into the half. We're able to talk and at least build on. And you go into the half down 26-0 or worse, that really breaks the spirit of a team.
26-0. Who would have thought it? Midway in the second quarter. Coppage looking for something, anything to ignite this offense. On the run. And hauled down from behind by Carr.
That's Sorensen. Talked about how he loves to get his hands on the football and he has a nose for it. He's had a couple of nice catches tonight. Coppage has been able to throw, and that's again trying to get your confidence built up into your quarterback. A couple of out patterns in the last couple of possessions by Carr.
Ball at midfield, second down, less than a yard for the Red Devils. He fumbles the ball, then falls on it. He'll lose yardage. It'll be 3rd down and 5, so that was a bad mishandle there with just about a half yard to go for a first down.
When it rains, it pours. You have a chance there to pick up a first down, move the chains, extend the drive, give your team and Hayward and Sorensen some more chances to get their hands on the football, and then you have a poor snap.
3rd down and 5. Back to throw, gets a rush, floats it.
Perfectly timed.
Tunstall, good defense on the corner.
Well, he's good on the edges. He's a good receiver. A real good cover guy, Bob.
He's having a heck of a game, isn't he, Tunstall?
He is.
Yeah.
Sat down on that 1 touchdown reception from Breaker. Kicked a couple extra points. Had 1 blocked. Didn't go for the other one. There you see the Red Devil on the sideline. He doesn't even like that play.
4th down for Pensgrove. Are they going to go for this?
Red Devils, I think, drawing up the
well,
plays.
You know, it's a gamble, but at this point in the football game, why not?
They need something to go for. I mean,
they don't get it. Glassboro's got great field position again.
Or you can give a quick kick.
Interesting call, Coppage with a good punt. And it'll roll dead at about the 21-yard line. So Glassboro has 79 yards to go, 4:33 to do it, 4:32 to do it. And to say the least, it has been a dominant performance thus far by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, with 4:32 left here in the second quarter. You know, obviously the Bulldogs are going to try and continue to run the football through Pensgrove. Any mistake that Glassboro has in any part of this offensive drive, you have to be able to take advantage of. Whether it's a penalty, a fumble, something has to happen for this Pensgrove defense. You get them in a third down situation, you have to be able to make the play.
Number 1, Baxter on the carry.
They've only had one play behind the line of scrimmage, Bobby. You just need more than that in high school football in a half. You need to have a couple plays behind the line of scrimmage in a game where you know you're going up against a terrific defense.
Herb Mueller got to be happy. Doesn't look a little happy, but I think he is. He's intense. That was Baxter with a carry, got about 4 yards, second down and 6. Run the draw.
Nice close that time by Sorensi, but there is again a ton of room on the right side of the field for Glassboro.
There's again that indication of that great balance and depth they have. That's Baxter's first 2 carries, gain a first down for Glassboro.
Baxter Jr.
The ball at the 32-yard line, first down and 10. James with the carry. Lots of room to the outside. What a game he's had. Still on his feet. He'll be knocked down at about midfield, but a big gain of 18 yards by James, who's got to be real close to 100 yards so far. But a penalty may bring this one back.
Corey James has one of the most explosive first couple of steps that you're going to find from any fullback in South Jersey. He has such a quick step as soon as he touches that football. He's so close to the line of scrimmage.
10-yard holding penalty against the Bulldogs. We'll back this one up.
And that's what makes it so difficult for defenses. I mean, imagine this guy taking a couple steps. He's already through the line of scrimmage and into your secondary. And with that speed and explosion, it's just very difficult to defend against. You have all those linemen up front. You can't hardly see this little guy coming out. And he's shooting to the outside as soon as that play is going on.
First down and 8 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 32-yard line. He'll run and has lots of room. And Breaker knocked down at about the 49-yard line. But another first down carry for the Bulldogs.
For the 50.
Bulldogs aware of the clock. Still 2:42 to play in the half. And the spot will be right at midfield. First down and 10 for Glassboro.
People watching this game must think, what's going on? This was the premier matchup going into the year in the Classic Division. The two top teams facing each other. And we've seen a couple of games where Shryock and Glassboro has played over the last couple of years, which could have decided the Classic Division, where one team maybe had the advantage over the other. Nothing as close as dominant as what's going on here tonight.
Halfback pass, but this one's back right up in the air. And it's 3 Red Devils went after it, and it cost them an interception as they knock it away from each other. So everything going right for the Bulldogs and wrong for the Red Devils. That was a halfback pass all the way, but he waited too long to release the ball.
It's just a situation, Bob. Pensgrove cannot do anything right. And that's a situation. You're just looking up at the football. It's not any kid's fault. It's not like a pop fly in baseball where you have a couple of guys calling each other off. These guys are just they're seeing a football floating in the air. They're trying to go after it and grab it.
Second down and 10, ball at midfield. Out of shotgun, Breaker. Incomplete. The intended pass to Timothy Breaker. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Breaker, I mean, he needs to make that play. That ball's right into his mittens. His brother's putting it out there where it's hit, and he lets the ball come into his stomach, and that's the reason why the ball is dropped right there. Is he lets it go through his hands. He even tells his brother that's his fault. That's a play where Timmy Breaker should pull that in.
So Pensgrove with an opportunity to put a defensive stop on Glassboro here, Shawn.
You might have a swing and bunt here, Bob, if they're able to get off the field at 3rd down and force Glassboro to punt. You need to be able to get off on this play.
Breaker will keep it. Breaker has some room. Breaker getting to the outside. He'll have the 1st down and goes out of bounds. What a play by Breaker. And they keep possession with another 1st down at the 38-yard line.
1st down, Bulldogs.
So explosive.
I don't know if there's much more that we could say about it right now. I mean, it's just, you're thinking you got some containment against him. He's able to break across the grain, go back to his left, and just use that speed. We talked about the Pensgrove speed. It is apparent that Glassboro has more speed, which you would not have guessed. I mean, Pensgrove is a speedy team. Glassboro has just a little bit more than Pensgrove.
And Pensgrove reads this one well. Short gain.
The ball might have popped out, and Pensgrove may have recovered. Pensgrove did recover.
And they did. So that is the 2nd lost fumble in this game by Glassboro. They've made many mistakes, but that one will cost them. 1:47 to go in the half, and the Bulldogs turn it over. A rare mistake by Glassboro. And now Coppage will undoubtedly fill the air with passes in the final 1:47 of the half. They only have 1 1st down, does Pensgrove. Trips left for the Red Devils. Coppage goes deep. And it looked like it was going to be picked off by Whitaker, but
almost intercepted.
Knocked out of his hands. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Whitaker with good defense all the way in that play.
They're just trying to get one-on-one to the outside against Whitaker. And Coppage showing off a strong arm. But Whitaker, understanding the situation, is able to get back, run with the wide receiver. Not able to pull it down, but still a good defensive play.
2nd down and 10, a minute 38 to go in the half. Two receivers both sides. Coppage out of shotgun, straight back to throw. Getting a big rush, fires it, completed. Hayward still on his feet, but he'll get...
The flag comes down at the end of this play. I don't know if it's piling on or a fade. Looks like it might be a face mask.
So
this could pick up a 1st down for Hayward.
About 4 yards on the play.
2nd and 3rd and 6 for the Red Devils. 5-yard face mask.
5-yard face mask coming. And that'll...
You heard it. It'll be 2nd down, Red Devils and 1.
2nd down and a yard. The ball at the 45-yard line of Pensgrove. Clock running with a minute 23 to go. Coppage fires it over the middle and incomplete. He does have a gun, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And he's got a real live arm. He's got to learn how to control it. This is a senior that's not going to have a lot of time to work on that skill for the rest of this year. But if he goes on to play football at the next level, that's something he needs to do is control when he's throwing that ball out there and his placement. He's not having a whole lot of time to really set and throw. I mean, how many times have we seen him where he had time to be able to set and throw off with terrific form.
3rd down and a yard. Here, good run for the 1st down. Ball loose. Glassboro comes up with a fumble. And the Bulldogs, with minute 9 to play in half, still have time.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by Bulldogs, number 2, Harris. First and 10.
Harris with the recovery for the Bulldogs at the 47-yard line. First and 10, and Shawn, they still have time to get another one.
Yeah, they have time to probably try the ball, grind it out a couple of plays, and maybe try to go to the air. I mean, the most important thing, I think, for Glassboro right now with the 26-0 lead is to keep it at least at that.
Not a lot doing for the ball carrier. It's Baxter. He'll get into Pensgrove territory, but the clock running, 55 seconds. And timeout called by Glassboro. 53.1 seconds to play in the half. And Glassboro with a commanding 26-0 lead, looking for some more before halftime. Not a bad crowd tonight, Shawn.
No, I think there's a couple Glassboro residents out tonight on a nice night, including a nice Pensgrove crowd as well. There you see the Glassboro stands, not filled to capacity, but still a real nice crowd. And then it's lined up. Everyone loves to stand up along the fence. Anywhere you go, there's a bunch of people who've got some pretty good views of what's going on that sideline.
This is the first game I've ever worked at Glassboro under the lights, Shawn.
Also to be senior night.
Oh, yeah.
First time.
The cheerleader seniors.
Many games in daylight. First one under the lights.
What do you think?
Stick around in this.
Good lights. I like it.
Nice lights.
Very nice.
They are nice lights. I agree with you.
Not everybody has great lights. These are good lights.
Yeah.
Second down and 6, ball at the 48-yard line. Baker goes deep, has a man open. But closing nicely on the play is Hayward to break it up. Tunstall was open momentarily, but it was broken up by Hayward, who came across the field, and the ball kind of hung up in the air, and he knocked it away.
Hayward closing nicely on that play. You see the junior, very impressive young man. We've gotten to know a little bit inside the newspaper. Again, really matured, not only as a player but also as a kid. And we saw him as a freshman, where he was Mr. Everything in that track kind of midget football. He did some stuff nationally with track.
Breaker incomplete. 4th down and 7, so decision time for Neilio. Does he go for the first down, keep possession, or they just punt it deep and keep it safe and not give up, risk giving up that score?
I think you punt the football. I mean, you have a 26-0 lead. What more do you have to gain? You do have something where you can lose, is if Pensgrove does not. If they get the ball here and they break off one and you give them the momentum at halftime, I put the defense on the field and make them march at least 80 yards. I wouldn't kick it to Hayward, though. I would not put it into his hands in the open field. I would try to get the ball low, try to get it toward the sideline, and work at it that way. It is one dangerous man with the with the ball in his hands.
Tunstall, the punter for Glassboro.
Hayward back receives at the punt.
There'll be a penalty before the punt, procedure call against Glassboro. 38 seconds to go. And
Full start, offense. Still 4th down.
you're right, Shawn. I wouldn't risk letting Hayward return this ball.
Yeah. One of the problems, I mean, we talked about the field real quick. The lights are outstanding here. The field is what the problem's been here. Glassboro not at all happy with how the field drains. The turf put in not too long ago. You think you'd have no problems. The state of the art and technology the way it is today, you wouldn't have those type of issues. But Glassboro had some problems with the field. It doesn't drain well. The water sits, and it's had some problems there trying to get games in when it's really wet. That's a perfect punt if you're
because it's not unreturnable.
Yep, that's exactly what you want.
Ball at the 21, so there's still a little bit of time, 22 seconds. 3 or 4 plays Coppage can get off, but Glassboro will, I'm sure, use a prevent defense here.
Seconds left in the game.
Amazing, the playoffs ready to start, Shawn.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. It's been an exciting year with a lot of teams, including the Rural Division, which I'm not talking about too much because they're 2 Classic Division teams, but boy, it's been an exciting time this year watching high school football.
Coppage. Oh, the receiver is punished after.
Yeah, looking for Jay Brown, freshman, good-looking freshman, a 5'10", 170. Got to work on those hands, but Hayward comes down, helps the young man up. Whitaker on the play.
Second down and 10, ball at the 21-yard line, 23 seconds to go.
This is a young Pennsgrove team, Bob, although they have some names that sound familiar to some people who have been following the Classic Division over the last couple of years. They return 15 players next year. 15 starters, 8 on defense.
Coppage runs out of the pocket. He'll be dropped, sacked. Still only, no, he's not. He's down. He'll be sacked, and the clock running, they might be wise here to just let it run out.
Finished off by Harris.
And they will. That'll do it for the, are they going to stop it?
Senior band parents, one correction. If you could proceed over to the gate right after the players leave the field.
So Pennsgrove stops the clock with 6.7 seconds to play.
Timeout, Pennsgrove. So that's the cheerleader parents and the band
Guess you can't blame them, Shawn. They were looking for that one miracle throw to get them back in the ball game.
Always give yourself a chance.
That's what it'll take.
Always give yourself a chance. And what's it going to hurt? You call timeout. Who knows what'll happen? You get a couple guys that slip on the play. I mean, you never know. You always give yourself a chance in football. We saw that amazing play in Division III football down in Texas with the 15 laterals that resulted in an improbable win for that Division III team. You just never know. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But, you know, I mean, Glassboro might lose concentration or focus here. That's why Kemp Clark calls a timeout, tries to draw something up, and you don't want to show to your team that you're quitting on them.
They'll just keep it on the ground. That'll do it for the first half. Glassboro with a dominant first half performance. Glassboro 26 and Pennsgrove nothing. We'll be back with the second half after this. Bob Schrack and Shawn Leary back at Glassboro High School. Start of the second half. Glassboro 26, Pennsgrove nothing. Coppage will kick off for the Red Devils to start the second half. Deep for the Bulldogs. Christopher Baxter along with Stephen Davis. All Glassboro in the first half. And they had one called back. Davis at the 15. Has some room, breaks into the clear, but knocked down finally at about the 47-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. Great field position for the Bulldogs to start the second half. Bulldogs had one called back, fumbled away the ball twice, and still lead 26-0 over a team that has lost only one game all season long. And the Bulldogs trying to make it 8 straight with this one. Justin Breaker over center. Straight up the gut, couple of yards to midfield. James with the carry gets about 3. It'll be second down and make it 2. Second down and 8 for the Bulldogs.
By 78, Kyle Hickman. Second and 7.
Glassboro spent most of the first half in Penns Grove territory, and they're right at midfield to start the second half. Breaker breaks tackles, gets to the 40, gets to the 35, and finally hammered down at about the 32-yard line. First down carry of 18 yards by Breaker. That'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Well, Kim Carr talking before the game, he said, you know, one of the three things that you have to do is make sure you tackle and wrap up. And that time, Justin Breaker able to slip out of a tackle. When you get your paws on one of these guys, you have to be able to bring them down, at least hold them up and allow somebody else to come clean up. They're able to beat you with their legs, but you don't want them breaking tackles as well.
James straight ahead for a couple. Inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Corey James again on the carry.
Angel Mendez in the middle there, making the tackle. One of the four players, Bob, that are four-year starters. Coppage, one of them, along with Angel Mendez. Sam Ridgway.
6-yard pickup, second down and 4, ball at the 28-yard line.
Also Sorensi, the other four-year starter.
And good interior defense by Penns Grove that time. They haven't had many plays like that. But a good one here, a gain of only about a yard on the play. Actually, no gain. It'll still be third down and 6.
Real important down for Penns Grove, Bob. And this is the second half. It's almost playing, and Bob, you know something about this, a new 9 holes in golf. And that second half comes up, you have to say, listen, they put up 26 points in the first half, but we can put up the same, we can match that number in the second half. But you have to be able to get off the field again. On third down, you expect Glassboro maybe even to go for it on fourth down. So you need 2 good plays.
They're rolling right, plenty of time. And a good try by Tunstall, but it's incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Good effort by Tunstall there in the corner. And it was a decent pass by, a good pass.
I'm sorry, that's tricky Tunstall.
By Justin Breaker that time. Going to the outside, only a spot where Tunstall was able to get the football if he's able to pull it in with the 2 hands.
Now this play even bigger for Penns Grove. Fourth down and 6, a stop here gives them some momentum when they get the ball back. So a big fourth down play with 9:14 to play in the third. Rolling right. Breaker will keep the ball. Penalty flag is down. He'll be short of the first down. Could be a holding call.
I think it was a hold on the right defensive end that time. Left defensive end that time for Penns Grove, and they'll probably decline this call and give themselves a first down. Go in the opposite direction.
So Penns Grove with a good defensive stop, just what they needed. And they'll take over the football at their own.
Turns the ball over on downs. Be first and 10, Penns Grove.
I would expect Penns Grove to come out. They threw the ball all over the field during the first half. I know you're down 26-0, but they're probably trying to loosen it up a little bit and now allow some of those running backs some room up the middle. They need to be able to establish some type of a running game here in the second half if they have any shot of coming back.
Hayward pulled down in the backfield. Great work defensively by Glassboro.
4-yard loss.
Donald Davis, a third in on the tackle, but he had a lot of help on the play.
They don't seem too loose up there though. Glassboro's coming through
Second and 14.
a little too quickly, and you need to be able to at least hold the blocks for a second or two.
Loss of 4, second down, 14 for the Red Devils. Hayward just hasn't had any running room tonight.
There's nothing there at all.
Ransom, Hayward, the backs behind Coppage.
It's a good pass.
Completed pass. It's a tough pass to complete, but he hits Holden Be short of the first down, but some good yardage.
Run out of bounds by Breaker.
Yeah, Holden probably his favorite target. Serency, though, is also a guy they like to go to, but Holden can stretch the field a little bit as well. That time, a little out route, and it was a nice, crisp pass by Coppage.
And 3rd down and 5 for the Red Devils. Desperately need the first down. 8:11 to play in the 3rd quarter. Out of shotgun again. Coppage with the snap. And the pass completed to Serency. And that'll be a first down for the Red Devils. They only have a couple in the football game.
First down.
They needed that one.
Those are 2 passes, Bob, that it looks like Coppage might have settled down a little bit. We saw in the first half a couple of overthrown balls. Maybe the excitement getting to them a little bit, the butterflies in their stomach. You overshoot some receivers downfield. But those 2 passes were just about picture perfect. They were right on the receiver's hands, allowing them to turn back upfield. And that's in this second half. Coppage is going to have to play nearly a perfect game to get back into it.
1st and 10 from the 40. Coppage goes deep and overshoots his intended receiver. That was
Coppage's pass incomplete. Long.
That was Serency again, trying to go to him. And Bob, I mean, that's just taking a little too much time. And if those long, extended plays are not going to work for Pensgrove if you don't have a good enough blocking up front. Glassboro shooting the gaps, allowing Coppage very little time to get rid of the football. And those long pass plays down the sideline, he's not going to have time to be able to step into it and throw an accurate pass.
2nd and 10, 7:21 to play in the 3rd. Two receivers to both sides. They use some motion. Hand off to Ransom. Ransom gets a yard. Maybe that's about it.
Davis and company able to bring down Ransom. So it's going to be 3rd and long.
3rd down and 9 for the Red Devils. They converted on their last 3rd down effort. They need another one here to sustain this drive, or they'll have to punt.
You see Justin Breaker, he's getting his helmet repaired.
Let's go!
Still shouting out some encouraging words to his mates.
Coppage guns it. Whoa, what a great pass. And a huge hit. But a great job by Aiden.
Yeah, Mohamed Aiden. Nice job.
That was a great pass and a great catch in traffic.
Ralph Carr dishes out some punishment, but Coppage again stepping into the throw. Nice job by the quarterback that time under some rush, but he's now stepping into the pocket and throwing the football, not really looking at the rush coming at him. That's a sign of a quarterback that's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with his position in the game. And Aiden, you can't say enough about him and taking the punishment, being able to hold on to the football. These Pensgrove kids haven't quit yet.
At the 44, and the ball is loose. And let's see if Coppage was able to fall on the ball.
Well, he's staying. I don't think it's going to be him. I think maybe one of the linemen was able to come up with it.
So Pensgrove maintains possession.
Young quarterback, although he's a senior, has to understand that you have to be able to control and hold on to that football once the pass rush comes in. If you're going to try to escape to the outside, that's where those hands are going to come flailing in, trying to get a hold of you to bring you down. The pass rush was there. You know it's there. You know the hands are there. So you got to be able to secure the football when you dart to the outside.
Loss of 6, 2nd down and 16.
Watch it, Stevie.
Coppage, another good pass. He's on the mark this half.
He looks real good.
Serency.
It looks like a different quarterback in there. No disrespect to Coppage, but he looks more comfortable. Apparently, whatever Coach Kent Carr said to him at halftime has really sunk into the young man. He doesn't have the happy feet that he had in the first half, and he's settled down. He's throwing some really nice passes, and the blocks are being held just enough for him to be able to get rid of the football.
3rd down and 10. They've converted their 2 previous 3rd down tries. Coppage gets a big rush and somehow gets it off. It'll be incompleted, but what great pressure applied by Glassboro in that play. 4 of them out there. Davis was out there, Reyes was out there.
Christian James.
And it'll be 4th down for the Red Devils.
He's trying to throw back and try to get it somewhere in the area of Hayward. Flag comes in on the play. Yeah, they're going to wave off the flag, and that's a good call.
Flag on the play.
What they were possibly talking about was grounding, but he's trying to get the ball on the opposite side of the field, and it was probably just a bad decision by him. The poor execution allows it to go incomplete. He's trying to throw back across the field to Hayward, and he wasn't close to the vicinity. Coppage probably thinking he had more of the arm strength to get it out there under a big rush.
I like this call by Kemp Carr going
Have to go for it.
4th down from the 45-yard line. Got it called, but they're trying to win the football game. Coppage, good protection this time. Thrown out of bounds, so Glassboro will take possession from its own 45-yard line with 4:10 to play.
And there's a flag down. I think it's going to be called on Glassboro. This might be a late hit or a personal foul that could give Pensgrove the 1st down. Either that or possibly defensive pass interference. Pensgrove sidelines really like the call.
There's another flag.
Pass interference. And that was close to being uncatchable. The ball was thrown extremely high, and I'm not too sure if Shryock would have had a chance to catch it, but nonetheless, Pensgrove sustaining the drive. Again, on the gutsy call by Kemp Carr, believing in his team, you're able to pick up a 1st down just by taking that chance. And you're right, Bob, nothing to lose here in this second half. You're down 26-0. You got to throw.
So Pensgrove with his deepest penetration of the football game to the Glassboro 29. This drive has included 3 first downs, this one on a penalty, and 2 third down conversions. So Pensgrove with some life.
You have the momentum as well. Coppage starting to get real good.
Coppage guns it and almost intercepted.
Almost intercepted, but broken up by Corey James.
Corey James with the defensive play for the Bulldogs. 2nd down and 10.
The things Coppage has to work on is, although he's a smart quarterback, knows his reads, will change his calls at the line of scrimmage sometimes when he sees something, but you have to be able to look off a receiver or look off a corner or somebody in the middle of the field, even though it's a linebacker or a safety. You can't telegraph your passes and continue to look at the one wide receiver that you're going to, and that's what in the middle of the field is closed down somewhat because of that reason.
Trips left for the Red Devils. Hayward takes a big hit again. They are really pounding him. He'll lose a couple on the play, and they have not been able to do anything with their running game tonight, Shawn.
Nothing at all. That place is just way, way too slow for Glassboro to get caught there. I mean, this is a team that's just too quick to the football. Play takes too long. You have too much time sitting around in the backfield, and that play is not going to work. You're not going to fool Glassboro, a team that's going to be keying on Hayward with that type of call.
Loss of the yards, 3rd down and 11. Nice pass, good catch by Holden. Short of the 1st down, but Just a couple of yards to go. The spot at the 23-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 4. They converted 2 third down plays in this drive. Let's see if they can convert a 4th down try.
Well, that was a nice play call by Kempcar there. You split out Hayward, use him as the decoy. The defense is going to try and key on him with a possible screen, and you find Holden. Nice play call. They need another nice one here on 4th and 4 to be able to extend this drive.
And Carr calls timeout. He wants to make sure that everybody's on the same page in this play. This is our best chance. Deepest penetration of the night by Pensgrove. And they want to continue this drive and take it into score. 26-0 Glassboro with 2:35 to play, 3rd quarter. And you got to give Pensgrove a little bit of credit, Shawn. They were just about run out of here in the first half, and they've come back and played Glassboro even up here in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're moving the football well. The one problem you have here, even though it's 26-0, they're using a lot of the clock. 2:35 left in the 3rd quarter. You need to be able to score and probably do it quickly. Conversely on that, Bob, there's a chance that these two teams could meet up again. And you want to be able to have some type of confidence in the second half that says that we can play with these guys. We're able to do some positive things in the second half. We made mistakes in the first half, but if you play this team again, you need some type of confidence going into that playoff game where you might be able to meet Herb Nealio and company and do some things that are effective.
So a big 4th down call for the Red Devils. Trips right. And moving on the right side by Pensgrove. They're going to be 5 costly yards here. Back them up 5. It'll make a 4th down and 8 for the Red Devils.
That'll probably change your play call here now. Carr going to have to call another call. Probably had something drawn up what he liked at 4th and 3. At 4th and 8, that play might not work as well, so you have something else here.
Big 4th down play for Pensgrove. Fires it over the middle. It's too high for the intended receiver. Don't see any flags this time, so Glassboro will take possession. Glassboro's got a little streak going, Shawn. That's at least 11 quarters in a row they shut out the opposition.
Not bad. You can't say enough good things about this Glassboro team. And it's an exciting team. People are excited in the stands for what the possibilities of what this team could do over the next month.
1st and 10 from the Glassboro 28-yard line. A lot of room to the outside for Davis.
Davis with a carry, pick up about 20.
Davis gets 22 yards. It'll be 1st down and 10 from midfield. They're so quick off the ball.
Just unbelievable how quick they hit the holes, Bob. It's a great point. They just, between James, Davis, Baxter, of course, Ralph Carr, we've already seen him. One of the first few plays from scrimmage, break off a long touchdown that was called back. And then you mix in young Gaines, Durande Gaines.
And a nice open field tackle this time by Coppage.
Carry by Davis, pick up about 5.
Davis gets 5 this time, 2nd down and 5.
From the 45.
Minute 30 to play in the 3rd.
Steve Rice leads the line to the ball.
It's a busted play. That's one of the very few mistakes made by this Glassboro offense. Of course, they've had a couple of fumbles. Some they've recovered, some they didn't, but that was one of the few hiccups.
Garnett in on the play. Cerency with part of the tackle. And it'll be third down for Glassboro, and about 9 yards to go. The spot at the 49-yard line. Under a minute in the third quarter. Breaker.
That's a good pass. Justin Breaker has a real nice arm, and Tunstall is a great target, good hands, and you can see the fruits of the labor of working out with Sakeen Wright. Story, the quarterback here at Glassboro.
And across the road at Rowan.
Oh, terrific career. I mean, he's still going on with the Austin Wranglers, the Arena Football League. Came in there. I mean, this kid just, ever since he was in high school, the odds that he had to go up against has fought through every single one of them.
Fourth down and 1 at the 41. And it should have an easy first down run by Davis, who's having a...
There you see Sakeen Wright helping with the receivers, with the quarterbacks. He can help with the tight end.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. So kind of a moral victory for Penns Grove here in the third as they hold Glassboro without a point. After 3 quarters, Glassboro 26 and Penns Grove nothing.
Don't forget to stay open. After prom with a hot coffee.
Fourth quarter football from Glassboro. And nothing doing this time for Davis on the first carry of the quarter as he is pushed back. It'll be second down and 11 for the Bulldogs.
Serency doing a nice job there, knifing through and throwing Davis back for a loss. Just saw Sakeen Wright. Also saw George Johnson during halftime, Bob. And George Johnson Sr. and George Johnson Jr., huge Rutgers fans. Is that talent? Talented defensive end, went up to Rutgers last year. This year a sophomore, seeing significant time for the Scarlet Knights.
They play Connecticut tomorrow, which is lost only once. That was with a tough schedule.
Big East.
Oh, a lot of running room here. And a carry down to about the 22 by
I think that might have been Davis.
Davis again. Davis had a lot of carries here in the second half.
Enough for a Bulldog first down.
It'll be first and 10 for Glassboro. The ball at the 22-yard line. Just underway in the fourth quarter. It's been all Glassboro tonight, but give Penns Grove a little credit for shutting down the Bulldogs in the third. Davis again, he's getting the call off and not much doing. Yard, maybe 2.
Again, Serency on that tackle against Davis. And if I will, Bob, George Johnson, the young man who went to Rutgers, one of the finest young kids that you would want to talk to, a kid you can really root for. And there's a couple kids here at Glassboro. I mentioned those kids, Davis and James and Carr. George Johnson was one of those guys who led by example to some of these younger players now that followed him and have found success on the football field and off because you have guys like George Johnson as a leader in the program.
Second down and 9. Berger to throw. Forced out of the pocket. Dumps it off. Completed. Couple yard pickup on the play short of the first down. The catch made by James. So it'll be third down and about 6 for the Bulldogs. Trying to push another score here.
When you have guys like George Johnson, Bob, that also affects your program years down the line because those leaders, when you have good players on your team, that's one thing. When you have a good player that becomes a leader and really gets a lot of others involved in the football team and wanting to play football and sports the right way, that can affect a program, not just a team. And that's what George Johnson did here at Glassboro. That's what Anthony Scrotter did at West Effort. That's what the kids at Woodbury are doing now.
One-on-one coverage and
Looks like it's an interception there. Right?
Well, that's a great defensive play by Aiden.
Breaker's pass intercepted in the end zone by
Aiden with one-on-one coverage with Timothy Breaker. Intercepts the ball. Will be turned. That's the one problem Glassboro's had tonight. That's the third time they've turned it over. 2 fumbles and an interception. And Pensgrove takes over at its own 20-yard line with 8:48 to play.
Alex Sylvester is another one of those kids. Paulsboro, who has joined George Johnson. I thought it was kind of neat watching the game last week where I saw George Johnson and Alex Sylvester on the field at the same time getting after the quarterback, and that's something I think we've been kind of waiting to see, is those two guys on the same field playing for Rutgers, and a lot of Rutgers fans now because of those two young men. Again, a couple guys you can root for. There's Sakeen Wright. Started off here as a quarterback for Glassboro, one of the most prolific quarterbacks in Gloucester County's history. He was outstanding.
Second down and 9 for the Red Devils. Coppage chased out of the pocket, fires it, and intercepted by Tunstall. That's his third interception of the year.
What a great job with his feet, getting his feet down, not going out of bounds.
So Glassboro regains possession of his own 45 as the teams trade interception turnovers within a matter of moments.
Again, Coppage going a little high with his throws.
So Glassboro takes over at the Pensgrove 45-yard line, 8:05 to play. Draw play. And some running room for Baxter. Baxter's carried to about the 40-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Second down and 5.
I don't know if you remember, and I don't know if some of our viewers remember, but Sakeen Wright was a guy who came out as a junior. He had a health condition which didn't allow him to play football. He came in as a junior. No one really heard of this guy. He came out and threw 3 or 4 touchdowns his first game, and that's what he continued to do for the rest of his career. Went on to go to East Carolina. They thought he would be a tight end. He didn't play tight end too long there. Came back to Rowan, become one of Rowan's greatest wide receivers ever. Picked up by the Austin Wranglers at the Arena Football 2. And he wasn't a defensive player, more of an offensive player, but they stuck him in at linebacker. And all he did that week was become Iron Man of the Week.
Baxter with back-to-back carries for a first down. The spot at the 34-yard line. First and 10 for the Bulldogs. And Baxter getting a lot of carries. He's knocked down after a couple-yard pickup. Tackled by Coppage, who does a good job defensively for this Red Devil team.
There's another Glassboro graduate. That is a pretty big week, Bob. Gary Brackett playing linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts.
Against the Patriots.
That's the Patriots. Big game.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
I like the Patriots. They're the best team I've seen in a long time.
That is not a popular pick here in Glassboro.
But I want Glassboro
to Indianapolis to win.
Yeah. 3-yard gain, second down and 7. Again, Baxter has some room. Baxter into the secondary and knocked down at about the 19. Gets the first down. Another indication of that great running depth Glassboro possesses. First and 10 at the 20. 5:55 to play.
Glassboro athletic program has really not just enjoyed the success in the fall of the football team.
Straight ahead, some running room. Nice job by James staying on his feet. And he'll get another first down, it looks like.
The field hockey team has become one of the better teams in Gloucester County and in South Jersey.
First and goal from the 9.
Played Salem earlier today. I'm not sure of the outcome of that game, but they're in the playoffs. The boys soccer team under Mark Bridges has done well over the last couple of years.
Strict down the goal, ball at the 9-yard line. James, he'll get in the end zone easily for the touchdown. Corey James has had a big game running the football for Glassboro. He makes it 32-0 with 4:47 to play. That's the first score in the second half.
With the new daddy getting into the end zone. Again, we wish him the best. Becoming a father, taking on a whole new responsibility other than playing high school football.
Tunstall, 2 out of 3 on extra point tries. He's trying to make it 3.
Tunstall's got a foot.
Tunstall makes it 33-0 Glassboro. And I guess the only question remaining, Shawn, is can Glassboro spin another shot out? They've spun 2 in a row. I'd like to make it 3 tonight.
It would really be demoralizing for Pensgrove if Glassboro is able to hold them scoreless. I mean, this has to already be one of those games that you'd like to forget already. Just being able to put some points on the board here in this final quarter would do Pensgrove a little bit of good with 4:47. Again, with another shot to face this team. They've moved the ball much better here in the second half. But this has been all Glassboro. Brandon Stevens, back at quarterback now, warming up for Bulldogs. Might get in the game, Bob. You see him down there at the bottom of your screen, number 16.
Sophomore. Tunstall's kicked off a lot this year, hasn't he, Shawn?
Yeah, he's had some practice.
Teams in South Jersey. Averaging over 40 points a game.
346 points now. The Bulldogs have scored in the 8 games.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Tunstall's kicked 3 kickoffs out of bounds tonight. Let's see Pensgrove again opts to bring the ball back for another kickoff.
Free kick out of bounds. Where the kick will be. 5-yard penalty. Free kick.
A nice night for Glassboro. A big victory. And of course the seniors, cheerleaders, band members, football team, all honored on Parents' Night.
And I don't want to, I talked about Sakine and what he brought back. This is his first year helping out as assistant coach, but Greg Macaron, Dan Haggerty, Brian Broughton, who's also done a nice job here, Vinny Figuera, Tim Elwell, Merrick Bowman, helping out as the assistant coaches. Haggerty, the older brother, or the older brother of Timmy Haggerty, who's done a nice job as quarterback for Rowan as a freshman. Another good story.
And the return to about the 30-yard line. So it could be the last shot for Pensgrove to get on the scoreboard. 4:38 to play. They trail at 33-0. I expected a little closer game than this, Shawn. Just a great indication of
little
how
closer.
good this Glassboro team is.
Yeah, a little closer than this. To be quite honest, Glassboro, looking at what they've been able to accomplish, we didn't think that it would be a close game. That's not on Pensgrove. I just think Glassboro has too many weapons, too strong up front. But again, I said it during the show, the high school sports report, that if there was a team that could put a scare into Glassboro if things bounced away, it would be this Pensgrove team. They did beat Shryock last year under Justin Justin Breaker and Tim Breaker was on that team, but being able to beat a quarterback, we didn't know how that was going to rest in the mind of Justin Breaker, if he's going to try and force a little too much. And Pensgrove has been able to knock off some teams over the years with some good young players, but just overmatched in this game.
Just keeping the ball on the ground. Hayward trying to break it to the outside, and he'll get first down yardage up to about the 47. That may be the best run of the night by Hayward.
Tackle by Whitaker. First down.
And Glassboro has done a phenomenal job of negating his skills by taking him out of the game. This is a young Pensgrove team. There's only 5 players on the roster that are seniors. Gabe Watson, Coppage, Aiden, Sorensi, and Holden. Now, there are some pretty good football players in that mix, but this is a team that will return a lot next year.
Busted play, and Coppage
that'll go
forward lateral.
That'll go down as a pass.
Christian James.
It'll go down as a pass.
BJ Carr messes up.
They lost a yard. It'll be second down and 11. 2:58 to play.
Second and 10, Pensgrove.
But of those players we talked about for Pensgrove, Bob, a lot of those are positional players. You do have Hayward coming back. I mean, they lose the quarterback, and that's tough to swallow. But you have a lot of those guys coming back that are up front. The guys on your offensive and defensive lines.
Kind of interesting to see them keep the ball on the ground here, Shawn.
You get kind of resigned to the fact that, hey, listen, let's try and get a ground game going here against Glassboro, and again, try to work on something that possibly we can face them next year. We haven't been able to run the ball at all. We've thrown it all over the field tonight, so let's maybe run it out here.
The ball at midfield, third down and 6 for the Red Devils with 2 minutes to play. Goes deep. And Pencil almost had his second interception of the game and 4th of the season. It'll be 4th down for the Red Devils. 1:38 to play. And our congratulations to Herb Melio Jr. and his fine staff, Shawn, on their 8-0 start this season. Another dominating performance tonight.
That's right. And they've done a very good job with getting their teams prepared to play. Herb Melio, I think, has grown as a head coach. He was an outstanding defensive coordinator under Coach Leary, but he has certainly become one of the most respected coaches in South Jersey, especially in this Group 1 field.
And a good tackle in the open field by James. It'll turn the ball over to Glassboro with 1:33 to go, and all the Bulldogs have to do now is run out the clock.
One of the things that we've seen throughout the years with Glassboro, sometimes the offense would bog down a little bit, but one thing was for sure, Glassboro did an excellent job wrapping up and playing good defense. The only exception that I remember was when Shryock played against Glassboro, and Kenny Bartee was breaking tackles, but he did that against everyone. This is a Glassboro team that has played good defense underneath Coach Melio, and it appears the offense isn't too bad either.
Stevens at quarterback.
Stevens at quarterback gets a couple of snaps here.
Hand off to Ronde Gaines. Pick up about 2.
Gaines with the carry gets about to the 48-yard line. Pick up 2 on the play. Second down and 8. 1:20 with the clock running.
Got a big one tonight also in the Rural Division. Bob, Cumberland playing Williamstown. Not too sure what's going on there, but
both teams once beaten, right?
Once beaten, and in the Rural Division, that looks like that could be the key game for the Rural Division title. And how about Cumberland? There's another program.
They're surprised.
A doormat in the Rural Division over the years. Now they have come out with Andrew Pierce get into the playoffs. That's another good story down there in Cumberland. They lost some players to Delsey. A couple of years ago. Some of these other kids have stuck by the program, and Coach Lake has the Cumberland Colts in the playoffs.
3rd down and 1 for Glassboro with 30 seconds of clock running. You just have to run one more play and it's over. And that'll do it. No reason to stop the clock now. 5 seconds. Final score, Glassboro 33 and Pennsgrove nothing. Glassboro wins its 8th in a row, and Shawn, guess we're not surprised that Glassboro did that, but we are surprised with the ease with which they did that.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I'm not too surprised that Glassboro won the game, but I am surprised at how dominating this team was on both sides of the football. An outstanding job in so many ways for this Glassboro team, and it really started up front and in the trenches. This is one heck of an offensive line, and it's going to be tough to draw the Glassboro Bulldogs on the playoffs and beat them at this field if everything breaks out for them.
I like the Glassboro team for its depth. Shawn, you rarely see a Group 1 team with this kind of depth. They have all these running backs, and nobody's gained more than 400 yards in this season. That's the kind of balance they've had. That's the kind of thing that makes winning teams.
Yep, I mean, you're right. You can key on Hayward for Pennsgrove. You know he's going to try and touch the football. For Glassboro, who do you key on? Now with Justin Breaker behind center, able to shoot the ball out to his receivers, Tunstall, Whitaker, and his younger brother are terrific targets on the outside, and you have a plethora of backs who can come in and get the job done. But it all starts at the line of scrimmage. And Davis and Line and all them guys getting the job done. This is a good football team.
All right, Glassboro 33, Pennsgrove nothing. The Bulldogs win their 8th in a row and send Pennsgrove down to its 2nd loss of the season. For Shawn Leary, this is Bob Shryock. Thanks for watching on Comcast Sports.